You guys, we have to talk about Love Island because the reunion for season 7 is just around the corner and there is so much drama that is going on online. From Taylor and Nick sitting down with Keke Palmer, to Vanna talking about her having drama at the reunion, to Huda hard launching with Louis and there being drama with Miguel and Leah, trying to warn her that he's maybe cloud chasing off of her. It is a whole thing. We need to get into everything being said, especially Nick talking about Cierra. So like I said, Nick and Taylor sat down with Keke Palmer this week. This was an old interview. This was like right after they got out of the villa. But when they sat down, you guys, they were talking about Cierra. They were talking about Huda. They were talking about Jeremiah, everything that went down in the villa. Keke wanted those answers, okay? So in regards to Cierra, Keke wanted to know if Nick had seen a single post that she had made where she was throwing shade at Nick. She was calling him out for the fact that they were not together and the fact that he went off and dated Alandria. And if you guys do not remember, Cierra was on Love Island. She was coupled up with Nick. They closed things off. They went exclusive. And then all of a sudden, all of this stuff started coming out from her past on the internet of her using a racial slur. She was asked to leave the show. She couldn't say bye to anybody as she left. And he stayed on the show and he pursued Alandria. And him and Alandria are still together to this day. They've been doing a ton of deals, modeling, everything together. They are getting that bag. So I know Cierra is absolutely sick seeing all of that stuff. Especially because Cierra has mentioned that Nick and Alandria have not reached out to her following the show. Shelly has come out to say that she has talked to Cierra. They've been seen hanging out together with Andreina. But Cierra did mention that she was hurt that Nick and Alandria didn't reach out to her and she's tried to find closure within herself because of that. But when talking about Cierra, Keke brought up this post that she posted on social media that says, "You look happier, thanks. I booked a flight to Mykonos after surviving the villain edit on reality TV, and I didn't end up with the guy who never actually liked me and wanted my friend the entire time." Obviously calling out Nick for the fact that he did not leave the villa with her, which she said she didn't expect him to do. But of course, going home and seeing Nick pursue Alandria and obviously having pursued her during Casa and kind of just realizing the entire internet was shipping the two of them together and that he low-key was looking at Alandria, wanting her since day one. But Nick told Keke how he reacted to this post and that this just did not sit right with him. He didn't like this post.
So did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean,
you were too funny with that face. Almost some.
like, but I mean,
have y'all spoken?
No, and I was taking my time to process things, and like that video just like was so off-putting for me, especially the way like I still speak so positively about her after like she posted that, and I spoke so positively about that, about our relationship before that. Yeah. I never once like bashed her. I never once told her like that I wasn't interested in her. I told the first interviews I did, I said like we were exclusive, like that's a big thing for me. We were in this close relation, like close thing, and that I cared about her. And then like through her leaving the villa and then exploring Alandria, which is what Love Island's about, and I found this like great connection, amazing connection with Alandria, and then she's bashing me for that. So to me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that on the chin.
And it ultimately sounds like this was the reason why he didn't end up reaching out to her or talking to her in any way, shape, or form following the show. Now, while on the podcast, he also talked about Huda and how people were saying that Huda was bullied while on the show, that Shelly, Alandria, and Cierra got together and Huda was really isolated from these group of girls on the show, and he wanted to speak on that a bit.
I think Huda and I had a conversation with Chris about how she was feeling that the girls were ganging up on her, but I don't like if there's bullying. Like I'm not for that at all. I don't know if there was bullying or not, but at some point,
but you didn't see any.
I think no, but at some point I do think it was definitely divided between the girls and Huda, and I don't know if it's called bullying, but there were reasons for that, and maybe the girls were grouping up together on her. I don't support that. I told even Cierra like just relax on her. She's still a girl at the end of the day. She has emotions, and yeah, so
you did feel like there was some separation.
Yeah.
You maybe don't know exactly if there was bullying, but there was a moment in time where everybody that did isolate a Huda, apparently.
I would say there's some separation, maybe for appropriate reason.
And he was also asked about the fact that Alandria does not follow Huda on Instagram, which Shelly also did unfollow Huda as well.
Nah, he got it. Yeah.
I know Shelly and Alandria unfollowed, like they're not following online. I mean, that's your baby Bookie Tuck. Alandra, she's your baby bookie.
Oh, baby.
So where do you stand with Huda, knowing where she stands with Huda?
I mean, I still follow Huda on Instagram. We're friends. Like, even though I voted her off twice.
Yeah.
Like, we're still cool. We're still cool. I don't really know what like the situation between Huda and Alandria, but I mean, Huda and I are cool, and Alandria doesn't have a problem with it, so that's fine by me.
And of course, they were asked about the heart rate challenge because everybody has been wanting to know, did Huda do too much? Did Shelly have a right to be upset at Huda? What was the deal here? What did she do? And as far as we know, from what everyone has said, she basically did one of her numbers where she licked Ace from his crotch all the way up, like we saw her do to Chris, like we saw her do to Jeremiah as well. And we're just gonna have to see the footage for ourselves in terms of what ended up happening and if she really did too much, because the reunion is on Monday and they said that they are going to be giving us the full heart rate challenge video. So we're just gonna have to wait and see that footage to really evaluate who was in the wrong, which has been such a big conversation since the show. Now, aside from Nick and Taylor being on Keke Palmer, we've got to talk about Jeremiah using Huda's name to promote his meet and greet that's coming up. He's doing a meet and greet at the Lola in Hoboken, and in the description of the VIP ticket, that is $100, it includes a meet and greet with him. It literally says that you can ask him how Huda is doing, which so many people have been clowning him over, because like, how would he even know how she's doing, because of the fact that they have not been together in so long. Like, she was with JD for a second, then she was with Chris, and now she's with Louis from Perfect Match. So Jeremiah wouldn't know how she's doing. There's just been so many people that are accusing him of using her name for clout and trying to stay relevant, and this was definitely proof of it. I could see him come out and say that he had nothing to do with this and that this was just something that they did on their own in the description and he didn't approve of it or whatever, but that is what it says, and everyone has just been talking about it. Now, as for Huda, she has found herself in some drama due to her new speculated relationship with Louis, who is on Perfect Match. Basically, right after she got out of Love Island, she was hanging out with Louis. They were spotted at the Grove together. Everyone was like, wait, this is kind of crazy. And some people were really hopeful because Louis was close friends with Miguel, who was on season 6 of Love Island, and everyone was like, wait, like, if he's friends with Miguel, this has got to be a good sign. So they were really hopeful that she was finally about to find someone that was right for her. But things took a turn when the girls from season 6 and Miguel unfollowed Louis on social media, and everyone was like, wait, did they unfollow him because he's hanging out with Huda? Do they not like Huda? What is the deal here? People were really thinking that there was beef with the girls and Huda or something, when really, it seemed that Louis was the problem. Leah replied to someone on social media saying, "It's not because of her whatsoever. I truly wish all the cast peace, happiness, and good things. I hope they all protect their energy and keep shining." She kept getting asked about the situation, and on TikTok, she wrote, "I don't know Huda. There is no beef. I wish her well. I am always happy to see a fellow Middle Eastern shine. I pray she protects her energy from all kinds of people. There's many reasons why we unfollowed Louis. Huda isn't one of them and never was. They can try and spin it that way, but they know that's not the truth, because I've said directly to face why. This live had 60 views. If you think any of this is for anything but clout, LOL, it's the month, I'm telling you." And she said this off the heels of Kenny and Janae breaking up and Kenny being called a clout chaser. So she was just saying that this was in the air. Clout chaser was in the air. And she was responding to a clip on a live stream where they were talking about Leah unfollowed Louis because of Huda, which she is saying is not the case, and that this has nothing to do with Huda. Now, Miguel ended up coming out and saying that the reason why he unfollowed Louis and that they are not friends and the girls unfollowed Louis is because of the way that he was talking about his relationship with Leah. And it seems he was also calling Louis a clout chaser, using Huda for clout potentially. He wrote on a story, "If you know me, you know I'm someone who's very private. If I have a problem, I deal with it personally. However, the more I dive into this world, the more I see some people have different takes on that, and perspectives can get corrupted. People I called my friends, feeling as though they have the right to talk on my relationship so negatively in such a public manner with no regard for how this might affect my girl's mental, making assumptions without first understanding reasons behind certain actions, and using that to let people drag her name and drag my relationship is disgusting. I'm beyond disappointed, I'm beyond upset, and I honestly want no part in any of it. It feels ridiculous. I'm even writing this message, but this the world I'm in. And everyone seems to need an explanation, so here it is. The people you thought I was close to, please remove that idea from your mind, because it's clear to me now we're walking two different paths. And to shed light on a certain topic, Leah and the girls didn't unfollow Louis because he was dating Huda. They did it because, as women, the reasoning behind why he was dating her didn't sit right with them. Whether or not they are truly falling for each other at this point, I couldn't care less. I wish them nothing but peace, but my road is my own, and I would prefer if my name and my girl's name no longer crossed into their world. Now, with this news coming out, people were asking Leah, instead of doing all that, you could have just tell her directly if you care that much. And she said, I did. So it does seem that Leah did reach out to Huda and tell her the situation, tell her what she knew about Louis, and well, seems Huda's still with Louis because she posted over the weekend that her and Louis were on vacation together, and everyone's like, okay, they're hard launching together. They've also done a red carpet together, so they've pretty much solidified that they don't care what's been said. They're gonna be together. Louis posted on his Instagram story this photo, Huda holding his face, and the location is somewhere peaceful. Now, as for the reunion, it is set to come out on Monday, and all we know right now is that there's some drama that Vanna is involved in. Okay, she's been teasing this on TikTok. She posted, I'm the only one going into the reunion with no drama, and then her caption is, or so I thought. Then she also posted, nothing better than karma working its magic, and she said, what goes around comes around. So I'm like, what happened with Vanna at the reunion? Like, I thought she was like staying safe, really nothing too dramatic going on with her, but suddenly she's talking about she's had drama ever since the reunion. A teaser did come out though from the reunion where we're seeing Jeremiah say, come on bro, don't try to villainize that. So we know he's definitely getting into a little something with someone at the reunion, but I will say that it can't be anything too crazy because following the reunion, he started to joke with Ace, like he's using Ace's song on TikTok. And so I'm like, all right, you know, things couldn't have gotten too crazy if they seem to be on good terms now following the reunion. But that is what has been said by the Love Island cast as of recent. I certainly want to know what you guys think about everything that has been said, everything that's going down behind the scenes. Let me know your thoughts and if you're excited for the reunion. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.